Hello and thanks for stopping by. This is Fishing Derby for the Atari 2600, released by Activision in 1980. I have a pretty good collection of Activision cartridges at this stage. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up with a complete set, but I am keeping an eye out. This one is just added to the pile. This is Fishing Derby, and by the title, I think it's easy to understand what the game is all about. It's about fishing. You can play against the computer, or you can play against another player, and the goal is to just outscore your opponent. This was not a game that I played as a kid, but it's a David Crane game, and he had a lot of hits back in the 80s, like Pitfall. You're a fisherman and you're sitting on a pier. There's a shark that's swimming near the surface of the water. If you drag a fish in front of the shark is going to get the fish and you won't get points for it. Well, here they're not referred to as points, they're referred to as pounds. You're trying to be the first to collect 99 pounds of fish. You use the joystick to extend your fishing pole out into the water or backwards, and you press down to drop your fishing line and cast the line deeper into the water. You'll notice that there are various levels of fish that are swimming around. The deeper you go, the more pounds the fish are worth if you catch them. But there's also a greater risk if you're going for just the lower fish. It takes longer to get your line down deeper into the water, and if you reel that fish near the surface and the shark eats it, you've lost time. The reverse of this, of course, is that if you focus on only the fish at the top of the screen, you're probably going to catch more, but they're worth a lot less than the deeper fish. So you need to always be trying to figure out how to balance risk versus reward. You'll need to move the end of your fishing line basically down and in front of a fish's mouth. The difficulty setting will determine exactly how close to the mouth you need to be. When a fish bites the fishing line, it's going to slowly start to raise itself to the surface. If it reaches the surface, you get the points. If you want to reel the fish in faster, you press the fire button on the controller. The one caveat here is this: only one person can reel in a fish fast at a time. This means that sometimes you can press the button and nothing's going to happen. This is described in the manual, and it's laid out like it's a feature, as though it was something they did on purpose. I guess it could be, but I find myself wondering if this is just one of those times that the technical limits of a system are showing themselves here, and they had to find a way to explain it for users. I don't know, maybe. It seems odd that two people can't reel a fish in at the same time is all. It's a clever enough little game. It's probably one of the first fishing games now that I think about it. It's only one screen, and there's no groundbreaking music here. There's nothing like that. But I guess it's unique enough, and it does get the job done, which is pretty much a lot of what Atari 2600 games did back in the day anyway. There are two difficulty levels in this one, and the difference being how hard it is to actually hook a fish. For the difficulty setting of A fish won't bite unless you get the line right underneath their nose. The B difficulty will bite if you get the line in front of their mouth. Overall, I would say this isn't an easy game. I've been playing this game a bunch, and the computer is not a bad player. They're actually quite good. Also, sometimes I would swear that the game might be slanted towards the player on the right. I say this because the first few games I played, man, that computer kept dropping his line to the lowest level of fish, which is worth the most points, and he kept hooking fish non-stop. I think out of the last 5 or 7 games I played, I don't know if I won once. Also, I would swear that the lower levels of fish, I know that the very lowest level starts on the right of the screen and tends to stay on that side, but I think it's not every individual level of fish that changes the point value. I think it's maybe the bottom 2 levels. So there's one fish that sort of is on your side, and I guess one fish that's on their side. I don't know. All I know is that computer player is really good, and the very bottom fish never comes over to my left side of the screen. I want to call shenanigans, but I don't know, maybe I'm just not very good at this game. That is totally possible. Well, that's all I have today for Fishing Derby for the Atari 2600. Don't play against the computer, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.